Hey everybody, it's hwsteele. Today is Thursday, October 24th, 2024. It's 3:33 p.m. in the afternoon now. Oh, that's kind of coincidental. Anyway, I finally had some time, so I'm making the follow-up video to the video I released about a couple weeks ago where I asked a simple question, which is, what's not on this chart of WD Gann's? It's on pretty much every chart nowadays. And of course, this is the very famous May soybean chart of Gann's from 1948 and 1949. And I asked the question. There was quite a few different answers, and a lot of them were good. Some of them didn't really make sense, like no dates on the chart itself, and that's not true, obviously. But there was only one person that I saw that actually guessed the correct thing that I'm going to be talking about briefly here, and that person pretty much immediately just discarded it. And the simple thing that's not, this very simple thing that's not on this chart, that's pretty much on all charts now, is color. Specifically, red candles and blue candles or green candles. Typically, it's either blue and red or green and red, indicating bear candles and bull candles. But as you can see, just by looking at this chart, there are no distinctions in the color of the candles. They're all the same color. It's basically monochrome, if you will. And some of Gann's charts did have a little bit of color on them. For instance, he may have actually made the angles with red ink, sometimes green ink. But if it was an actual price chart, a daily, weekly, or monthly price chart, the actual price action was never different colors. It was all the same color. And at first you might not think very much of that, but it's something that can actually have a tremendous psychological effect on you without even your realizing it. So before we get to anything else, let me just throw up, this is a General Motors chart right here from Gann, and you can see all the price actions the same color. The angles are red in this particular instance. And this is from circa 1920, 21, 22, right around there. So a lot earlier than that May soybean chart. Here's a pan peat chart. This is from, let's see if we can see, 1919. So about the same time frame as the last chart we looked at a couple years earlier. But again, we can see that the price action is all the same color. And the angles are red to help them, stick out from the price action. Here's Trans World Airline. This one was in the 40s here. 1948, 49. So this was a chart that was contemporary to the 1948-49 soybean chart. And again, all the price action is the same color, but the angles are, for the most part, red. There's a couple of them that are a different color. So what's the big deal? And the answer is maybe not much. Maybe there's not much to it for some people. But I suspect that there are going to be some people out there that, believe it or not, would actually benefit tremendously if they would change the color of the candles or bars that they're using so that all the candles are the same color and would look something like this. This is Apple daily chart right here, and I just changed, instead of having blue candles or green candles for bull candles and the obvious red candles for the bear candles, I changed it all so it's all the same color, which at first it might seem like you have, how should I say this, less information at hand right away. But in actuality, if you can actually read price action, this actually makes it a little bit cleaner, in my opinion. Think of it this way. When you start trading, you tend to learn about all these indicators, and you start putting a bunch of indicators and moving averages and things like that on your chart, trying to get confirmation about when to, buy and sell and all that other stuff, when to trade. And then the more you get into the esoteric type things, the WD Gann type of things, the more you realize you don't need the indicators or really the moving averages or anything like that. And at first, it might feel like your chart is naked. There's nothing there. You're just looking at the price action. And that's actually all you really need to be able to trade. some calculations based on the price action, price levels, percentages, things of that nature, time counts. Well, changing the colors of your candles or bars to just be one color, a neutral color, one that you're not programmed to think of as a bear color or a bull color, red or green, red or blue, whatever it might be, that will probably leave you feeling like your chart is even more naked than it was without all the indicators and everything. But I have a suspicion that it would actually help a lot of people especially people who get anxiety when they're about to trade. If you look at a chart this way, you're not getting those subconscious signals from red candles or blue candles. You're just seeing the current candle print. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, all that kind of stuff. And it's the emotional charge that's associated with the colors of the candles won't be there, not at the same level. So if you have trouble trading and you are emotionally attached to trading more so than you think you probably should be, and I don't mean like you have a need to go out there and trade, but when you trade, you have a relatively high emotional response to your trading. You get really excited if you win, and you get really upset at yourself if you lose. If you're that kind of person, one of the things you might try is to set your chart so that the candles are all the same color. And again, the color needs to be a neutral color like this, like a brown, black, something like that. So anyway, I know this isn't majorly profound, and it's not something that's, some big, massive, universal secret, but it is something that I'm pretty sure could help a lot of people, especially in the beginning stages of trading, who get overly emotional while they're trading. So if it's something that you haven't ever dealt with before, haven't tried looking at your charts in monochrome, just one basic color instead of red and green or red and blue or whatever it might be, then I highly recommend you give it a shot and see what happens. Maybe it helps you. So anyway, until next time, this is hwsteele, and hopefully I gave you a little something to think about in this video.